Hi guys, and welcome to this video on the new moon in Leo that happens on the 4th of August 2024. Thanks for joining me. The chart you see next to me here, that's a snapshot of the sky at the moment this new moon will take place. So I'm going to analyze the chart to see what the planets are doing and how they'll influence you. And then I'll also go through each sign of the zodiac from Aries through to Pisces to give you a specific message for your sun sign. So I'm in the UK, my time zone, this happens at 12 minutes past 12 in the afternoon. If you're in North or South America, it happens earlier in the morning. If you're east of Europe, it happens later on during the day on the 4th of August. So the 12-12 to me is significant because it's all about new beginnings and it's life purpose and it's communication. And that's what I think this new moon is very much about. We've got the sun in Leo, the moon in Leo, they're both at 12 degrees, so the moon goes pitch black, pulls in a lot of energy before it starts its new 28-day cycle. But while it's doing that, it also gets its bearings and it says, what do I want to expand on moving forward? What do I want to give my time and energy to? And because this is Leo, it's very much about a sign that's ruled by the sun, right? Which is like your solar plexus chakra. It's the things that make you feel alive and passionate and joyful. So whether it's the dream of having your own family or to lead in a particular field or to explore the world and to go on adventures, it's whatever makes you feel passionate. This is the dream. This is what I could do with my life, and wouldn't that be wonderful? And also what I'm getting here, this is very much about giving you the confidence again and the faith that amazing, wonderful, passionate things can occur in your life. And if you've had disappointments in the past, this prompts you to try again, to overcome your own doubts or your own negative beliefs and to say there's an infinite amount of joy in this world and I can explore that and I can bring more of it into my life. And this is the time to get the right steps together and to grow in particular actions, areas that work for me to ensure that happens. So the sun is your head, it's your conscious identity, what you'd like to embody, and the moon is what feels like home. And both of them being in Leo, it's not confidence as in a personality trait that you have to deliberately put on. It's genuine passion and a desire to have a good time. So look at the things that you've got going on in your life at the moment, the things that put a smile on your face the most, and see what about that situation do you like the most? What is it that makes you happy? And how can you expand that? So next to the new moon in Leo, we have Vesta. I included these in the last video I did on the full moon. And this is the inner fire. And that's at 20 degrees in Leo. So a strong desire to connect to things that you find enjoyable in life, places. But also 20 is very much about a relationship. So the desire to connect with another person in a meaningful way to, all the usual reasons why someone would want to connect with someone. To share your life, to share your experience, to have intimacy, to have that sense that we're on a team together. So that also is this eternal flame, and no matter how many disappointments you've had in pursuing something that's been a dream and you didn't get it, this says try again and never give up. Try 4 million more times until you get what you want. Then we have Venus at 29 degrees in Leo. Venus in astrology is love and creativity and beauty and passion. 29 is 11, master number of service. And again, in Leo, you're able to show up for yourself in your own life. You're able to express your positive emotions creatively in relationships. But again, I think the biggest thing to be of service to yourself is what feels like what new thing has come into my life? What new presence? What feels like a new narrative that I can explore and that I'm really interested in? And with that, also the ability to leave behind, the constant overthinking and to just go with what motivates you and what makes you happy in the now. So then the new moon in Leo makes a lot of other connections with things in this chart, right? So first of all, it sextiles Jupiter and Mars, and they're both in Gemini. So Mars is the personal planet of drive and ambition. 9 is spirituality and completion. It's the end of a cycle. And in Gemini, which is an air sign ruled by Mercury, the communication planet, and it often has to do with expression and communication, which I think it does in this case as well. I want to get my point across. I want to compliment someone if I feel that's valid. But here with Gemini, I think it's about the desire to end the search and to say, I know what I enjoy now, and I'm going to take this and I'm going to use it like a garden, and I'm going to see the space I've got, and I'm going to water it and plant it and attend to it so this becomes even more beautiful, right? So it's about you, it's about crystal clear understanding of what makes me happy in life and how can I bring more in. Then we have Jupiter, which is an outer planet, but it's the planet of growth and expansion and good luck. And that's at 15 degrees in Gemini. So there's really, again, the opportunity to find a way forward, to find something in life that really, again, represents not just a narrative, but a different way of life. And what I mean by that, for instance, if you've been single for 5 years, and then here during the new moon in Leo, you meet someone and there's instant passion, or you start to get to know each other, that's then the story of you and that other person. And that's going to be one of the chapters in the larger story of your life. And that's what I'm saying here. There's an opportunity to deliberately start a new relationship. And it doesn't have to be just with a person. Or it's a new relationship comes to you and it just starts on its own. So I would say the way to access that then is to do things out and about that you are passionate about and enjoy. So, you know, if boating is your hobby, or going on walks, or playing volleyball, or whatever it may be, use your energy to enjoy something, basically, and that sets the stage for even more of these good things to come in. Because Jupiter at 15 degrees is 6, and that's a temporary opportunity for either something to come in or for you to exit, leave something behind, and step into something new. So either way, you're stepping over the threshold into something unfamiliar and good. Then we have the new moon in Leo forming a trine with the North Node at 9 degrees in Aries. So the North Node shows what direction you're moving into and what you'd like to, what the purpose is, what would seem like an accomplishment of some sort of lifelong dream or passion. And again, that's at 9 degrees in Aries. So Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, number 1. 9 in numerology is again the end of a cycle. So it's about leaving one thing behind and now moving towards something new that you're going to be much more passionate about. All of these signs here are fire. We've got all the Leo, now we've got Aries. That's really what brings the heat and what makes you feel like, you know, this is a wonderful moment in my life and I feel lucky to be able to experience it. You know, it's that kind of experience. Then we also have the new moon forming a sesqui square with Neptune at 29 degrees in Pisces. And Neptune is an outer planet and it represents the dream. It represents the unmanifest or the subconscious, the things that exist in other dimensions and realms, right? And that's also 29 degrees, so again 11 in Pisces, the sign that it rules. So I really feel that placement of Neptune and the connection to the new moon in Leo is the prompt of the universe to say, hey, listen, you do qualify for happiness in this life. I'm giving you this optimism that says if I try again, of course I will succeed. Or if I try for the first time, if I want to make my dream a reality, then it will happen. So this is incredibly optimistic, but just as I'm talking and I'm thinking, you know, it can also be very painful to revisit something that hasn't worked. Like, let's say you've been on a journey to find your life purpose as it relates to career, right? And you've been searching and you've been a florist and you've been a production line manager or whatever it may be, and you still haven't found the right thing. Then this kind of energy that comes in and says, hey, it's time for you to try again. It's time for you to get back on the horse and to search for your life purpose. It can be like, oh, you know, not again. Didn't work for me in the past. Why am I being tortured here? And what I'm getting is that you're not being tortured. You're being given this inconvenient desire to try again because there's genuine opportunity for you to fulfill your purpose or to find the purpose that really will bring you a sense of fulfillment, or to get back on the horse and to say, I haven't done this yet, I'm going to try and make it happen. So if this feels a little uncomfortable or inconvenient, I'd expect that, especially if an area of life that's really important to you has caused you a lot of grief in the past, you know? But out of those two options, do I just try and ignore this optimism and enthusiasm, or do I try again? I would say yes, please do try again, because it's likely the outcome will be different now. And you've got the support of Mars and Jupiter. So this is something that you can trust. You're always going to have a passion for this. So if that's the case, then you could argue that it doesn't really matter if I get it on the 5th go or on the 50th, other than the inconvenience and the time consumption. But I've noticed that, you know, certain things, the universe has its own schedule for our lives, I think. There are certain things, no matter how hard you try, they just don't happen. And then at other times, years later or even decades, it's something that naturally occurs. So this is a real shift and an encouragement via the universe to strive for your own personal happiness. Let's see what else. We have the sesqui square, I mentioned the trine, then we have the sextile. Oh, but the sextile between the new moon in Leo and Jupiter and Mars, they then also sextile the north node at 9 degrees in Aries, and that trines the new moon again. So there's a triangle. I call this a triangle of harmony. If you try and look this up, it doesn't exist. I made it up. But it's, again, to me, it's this sense that, of course, I can realize my hopes and dreams. And I don't need to listen to my head and my reasonable experience of things. I can have faith in the universe instead, even if it's never been part of my experience before, which is a big thing, to hope again when the world has said over and over and over, don't hope. That's a big deal as far as I'm concerned. Then we also have the new moon forming a semi-square with Juno in Virgo at 28 degrees. So the desire to make sense of things and to then take reasonable action steps in order to ensure those things are there. So what I mean is, in the summer, you realize I like apples. So I'm now going to pick them all up and put them in some dry storage thing so that I have these wonderful apples in winter and I can continue to eat them, right? This is Juno, 28 degrees in Virgo. I know what's good for me. I know what makes me happy. I can assess my life and see what works and what doesn't. And again, what can I ensure I stock these things up or I get started with them in earnest so I have more coming in. And also we have Mercury at 4 degrees in Virgo, and that's just stationed, right? Because it goes retrograde now on the 4th, which is actually really amazing, because if you think of Mercury, when it's direct, it appears to go forwards, right? When it's retrograde, it appears to go backwards. It's kind of like in a car when you're both on the motorway and doing like 100, then you stand still next to each other for a split second, and then one car either moves on or the other one's left behind you. So when it's retrograde, it appears to go backwards, and that's when we have the communication issues and transportation issues. But when it stations, it's that moment on the motorway with the cars where it stops. It's just still, right? 4 is structure and security. Virgo is the academic, the researcher, the student. And Virgo is ruled by Mercury, so it's in a sign that it rules. So with it being dead still, I think you can examine things with much more patience and much more insight than you usually would. And also anything extreme to me says an opportunity. And because it's just about to go retrograde, bringing on this period now in August of those issues with communication and transportation, this is an extreme moment before that begins where you can, you know, in the quiet stillness of your life, look at what makes you happy, analyze it and say, okay, that's going in flower pot number 1 so it can grow. This is also good, flower pot number 2. I like this too, number 3, and on, and get rid of the things that you don't find so enjoyable. And also, you know, again, as I'm talking, you could say, oh, Greg, but isn't that really selfish? I don't think it's selfish to say, I want to build on those things in life that make me happy, because then you're going to be better company. You're going to be easier to be around. If you are able to meet your own needs and make yourself happy, and if you don't need as much from other people to make you happy, I think that's good all round, because you're not going to need as much or demand as much, taking pressure off relationships, and you're naturally, you know, radiant with all your happiness, so that other people, in fact, will be attracted to you. So this is a time where you can really shift those things around and really commit to, I'm going to pursue things that do bring me joy in life. Let's see what else. We have got the, no, this is Vesta forming a sextile with Libra. Yeah, that doesn't connect to the moon directly. No, but those are the things the moon connects to. Let's look at some of the major aspects, patterns in the chart, right at the center of the wheel. You'll notice, first off, the big blue triangle between Pallas at 21 degrees in Scorpio. That trines Saturn at 18 degrees in Pisces, and that trines Hades at 13 degrees in Cancer. Pallas trines the midheaven in Cancer, so it's not exact. Yeah, it's not an exact trine. An exact trine is these three trines creating one big blue triangle. It's an area of talent, and it usually appears in one element, right? But this one, again, because it's a little squished, I am always very generous with these, and I would still count this. So the big talent here in water is to discover, really in all aspects of your life, not just personal relationships, but in career and living. Where am I going to be happiest, and how can I take care of myself by ensuring that I go to these places and have these kind of relationships? So basically, happiness is made at home, and you actually have, what were they called? A chef's kitchen at your disposal. The best pots and pans. You can cook up whatever you like. So that's really the big, you know, like big wing that's covering all of this spiritual nurture that I can have and pursue things that bring me joy in life. Let's see what else. We have a yod. We have a yod between Pluto at 0 degrees in Aquarius. That sextiles Neptune at 29 degrees in Pisces. And they then quincux Venus at 29 degrees in Leo. So a yod, also known as the finger of God, that's a very unique quality. And the unique quality here is that you are your own parent, or the universe is really appearing to you as a loving parent from the other side. And it's prompting you, urging you to start something that you love. So I suppose it's a parent who, you know, wants to help a child ride a bike and puts on some training wheels so they don't hurt themselves while they're figuring it out. So the universe is really saying either try again or please do try it. You haven't peaked yet, basically. What else have we got? Well, then we've got another triangle pointing downwards. This one connects Uranus at 26 degrees in Taurus with Black Moon Lilith, is it? No, with Juno at 28 degrees in Virgo. Yep. And that then trines Pluto and Aquarius, and it goes back to Uranus. So again, not quite right because it's in two elements. It's earth and air. But really, your ideas about what could be are more powerful than the world's ideas, which says you can only get A, B, and C. If you realize that you can also get E, D, F, whatever, then that is more powerful than the world. So it's mind over matter. It's you as this lit up spiritual being. Deep down in your bones, you know you deserve to be happy. You love yourself. You know that this is possible. That's going to have this life-changing effect on your environment because you're kind of reprogramming it. That's based on a belief that our minds are stronger than the physical world. That's something I believe, right? Like, for instance, if you look at a glass, that the nature of the glass changes because it's being gazed upon. That's the power of you as a human being, that what you imagine and what you entertain in your mind's eye, in your inner world, becomes manifest in the real world. So whenever we have two triangles like that, you get a Star of David, right? A six-pointed star. And to me, that indicates that the person or the energy. So for instance, if you had this in your birth chart, right? Then it's someone who can connect to the higher realms, but not just connect and do the talking. They're also able to listen and actually hear a response. It's kind of mystical. It's balanced, or an intermediary between the physical world and the spiritual world, kind of like the high priestess in the tarot. So there is this balance. And again, the point is you're not being tortured and by being urged to try again. It's because the universe wants to deliver something that you're going to be passionate about in your life, and it is essential to try again to bring that in. Anything else? No, let's see. I mentioned Jupiter. Okay. Pluto and Aquarius at 0 degrees, really. I have new ideas about my life and what I can build and do with myself and the things that I've been given. So it's a way to bypass your own head. You know, I was listening to an interview yesterday and they were talking about someone who'd passed away. And the discussion was, you know, this person was given everything in life. They were given an intellect and great looks, and that situation ended tragically. And the people on the show, they were discussing, you know, does that warrant our compassion? Or is that something that they brought on themselves? And I feel that other people will never know what you're dealing with. And it's easy to say, oh, look at this person, they were giving all these blessings, and look, they haven't done anything. You don't know what goes on in their head. You don't know how they feel about all their blessings. But basically what I'm saying is we all have our hang-ups, right? That cause us to mess up things in life. And this is an opportunity to overcome those and to bypass your own thinking by replacing it with something that brings you joy. It makes you less problematic, this new moon. The happier you are, the less problematic you're likely to be in other areas of your life. I love that. Solution to being... Okay. I think that's it. As far as the new moon is concerned, let me make sure I haven't missed anything. There is kind of a T-square, but again, it's squished. It's Pallas squaring Vesta, and then Venus squaring Uranus, and they oppose each other, Uranus and Pallas. So it's about deciphering what you feel within and what makes you happy, rather than trying to decipher problems out there in the physical world. The inner work, the inner problem solving is better than the outer, because the inner leads to the outer anyway. So by doing that, you're tackling issues at the root and pulling them out. Okay, so let's see each sign of the zodiac then. We've got Aries. Aries, you've got the opportunity during this new moon period to really jump over your own shadow and to pursue something you care about, right? Even though it's not guaranteed to work out well. It's that I'm going to try again because I'm optimistic. I have faith that, yes, I too can be happy. So whether that means for you application to a course you've always dreamt of taking, or going on dates and you've been afraid to do that, pursue the thing that makes you somewhat nervous and assume the best. You're likely to get the best. Taurus, you're going to be able to juggle both work and family very, very well. If you have the opportunity to take some time off and to go somewhere fun as a group during this new moon period, then please do, because you're going to have a wonderful time. Your connection to the world, the physical world, and other people is really, really positive. Ultimately, Taurus, you're on top of things, so you can enjoy a bit of time off and enjoy letting control of things a bit and just let them tick along nicely. Gemini, this new moon in Leo is your opportunity to get your point across clearly, or to pitch your product or idea in some sort of business setting. You're going to be confident, articulate, and will never be stuck for a response. So anything that's tricky conversation-wise, handle it now before Mercury goes retrograde. And also pursue anything that allows you to step into the role of the leader or the person who's the teacher. Ultimately, you can make a very good impression by showing up and speaking. Cancer, this new moon is a really good opportunity for you to sit down and to make a plan for the future. You'll have a nice overview of where you're at in life right now and where you want to be, and you can make really clear, concrete plans here. So if you need to sort out your finances, do that as well. You have the confidence to face any really complex or chronic problem, and you can make a lot of progress, if not even solve the problem altogether. Leo, this is your new moon. It's in your sign, so you're going to be feeling at the peak of your powers. You're going to be massively energized, and you can apply that to different areas of your life, whatever is most important to you at the moment, whether it's travel and community, or education, or work, or realizing hopes and dreams in your personal life or in your career. Try and keep it simple though, one thing after the other, and you can have several wonderful experiences during this time. So what new beginning do you want, Leo? Virgo, you may be a little conflicted here. On one hand, you're being inspired by the universe to try again, and in this area that you care about, but you've experienced disappointment in the past, may have even been bitter disappointment, right? On the other hand, you'll have this strong desire to realize these dreams and hopes and passions despite what your head tells you. So for you, Virgo, particularly, it might be a little painful, but listen to your heart. If it says try again, do. And if you can do that, then the outcome is going to be much better. So please do. Libra, this is a wonderful opportunity to make changes in your love life. So if you're in a relationship or if you're single, during this period, your natural and authentic energy is going to smooth out any wrinkles, communication issues, or it could even bring in the right partner if you're single. Scorpio, this new moon is an opportunity for you to conquer the thing that scares you most in life and to overcome it once and for all. No pressure, right? No, but you really can tackle something like that. You have such confidence here. And when you do, it will free you up and you'll feel less burdened. You're not carrying all these fears around with you. And then you'll have the opportunity to move forward in a more straightforward way. So for you, Scorpio, it's an opportunity to detox from burdens or to overcome fears, or both. Sagittarius, for you, this is going to be a wonderful few days where you can travel and you can explore new places and new relationships with people. Pursue anything that makes you feel like you're alive and you're free and you're in the moment. You can make great memories over these few days, and you can also start something new, a new passion project. Capricorn, if you've wanted to start your own business, this is really the time for you to do it specifically. If you also have a new or innovative idea that would require you to convince other people before it can get started, it's a perfect opportunity to present and to share your vision. You'll be able to influence other people for the outcome that you want, and that's likely to be good for everyone involved. Aquarius, you're likely to feel like you're on some threshold between the past and the future, and you may be a little confused. You may notice that your social network is changing and that you're able to make big decisions about your living arrangements at this time. But I feel like a lot of things are coming and going in your life at the moment, Aquarius. You may be moving, or other people may be moving in, coming in into your life or out of it. And because there's so much movement, it might inspire you to make a move that you've dreaded or not entertained before because it may have seemed too difficult. So again, try again, right? Pisces, really pay attention to any offers that you receive that would change the nature of your work. If you've considered starting your own business as well, these few days could give you the practical info on how you can get started with that. And finally, there's also the possibility that your routine changes in some way, freeing up more time in your weekly calendar so that you, may have an hour or two to spend on something else. So have a look at what that is and how you can use it wisely or sensibly to bring in more good things into your life. Okay, so that's what I get for you for the new moon in Leo. I hope you have a fabulous time. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, when you get to gregoryscott.com, click on book your reading to audio reading, or go to the shop tab and you'll see all the different types of readings I do. So I use astrology, the tarot, numerology, and my intuition to draw up your birth chart. I just need your place of birth, date of birth, and time of birth. If you don't have the time of birth, then please order a chart rectification with me. That's a process where you send me 10 or more significant life events and I can actually work out your time of birth, which is really useful because the more accurate the chart, the more accurate the reading of it, and it changes every 4 minutes. So if you'd like me to do that, or you have the time of birth and you'd like me to look at your chart and analyze that, please do get in touch for a personal reading. I also look at the progress chart and transits to see what's coming up in future. So if you're planning specific dates, or you're looking at when the best time is to move, or what's coming up in your love life. Astrocartography is really good for actual locations, so London and Berlin and Buenos Aires, and it's based on your astrocartography, how certain places would influence you. Or if you want to get in touch with me for anything else, if you want me to look at your tarot, please do just get in touch via the website gregoryscott.com. It's all on there. So I hope you have an amazing time during this new moon in Leo. All the best. Check out some of my other videos. And if you like this, then give it a thumbs up, please, and subscribe for more videos coming in future. All the best, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care.